What's up, YouTube? This is DrDabston here, and we will be covering 1Puppypaw versus Kelazhur in the first round of the non-meta Civ weekend for Golden League. This is round 1, and we have a French versus French mirror on Dry Arabia. So, with this weekend on EGCTV Golden League, there are 3 civs banned for each map, the 3 main meta civs, followed by another ban for each player. So we'll see some not typical picks on a lot of the maps here that we'll be playing, but here we just see one of the old classics, which is the French mirror. Usually it's going to be all about getting those knights out and getting a good balance there, getting raids in. But we will see how this start goes for 1Puppypaw. A lot of times, French goes double scout because that way they don't have to expand further out for a food economy, and they're able to just sit right nice under their town center and focus on just putting as much pressure on the opponent as possible. So we're just going to stay on the point of view from 1Puppypaw for this match. Been following him a lot of the Golden League tournament. He had a great round 1 weekend when it was the open battlefield and was able to 2-0 Lenok, followed by Lucifron as well, and then wasn't able to take the win against Marine Lord, but got a game off of him. So now we're going to be following him closely here this weekend as well for the non-meta civs. Just as we said, just expect 1Puppypaw to just be grabbing some sheep here around the map, getting good vision, and also gonna get a good idea of what Kelazhur's base looks like, and seeing where he can go ahead and pressure in with those knights once he starts making them. Again, more and more sheep coming in here on the side of 1Puppypaw. We just keep hearing that bell ding, and that's exactly what you want to hear. Another 7 trailing this one scout, and we got 2 more on the other when we know he already dropped off 3 as well. So we can see, as far as the sheep game goes, 1Puppypaw is leading the way, leading the pack by quite a bit, and hopefully he'll snag a few more in on the way. So he went with the typical French opening start, 903, getting a good food and gold balance mix, getting he'll pull a couple off of food here in a second to drop that stables to age up, or whatever you call the French landmark. I don't play them much. What's it called here? School of Cavalry. No, it must be you, Sniper. And so here we have that that next set of sheep getting brought back in. Again, just how we said, we'll see a nice economy of the food economy under 1Puppypaw's town center for quite a while. He is dropping this mill to get a wheelbarrow in the middle of this age up to feudal. Now we'll see 1Puppypaw most likely going to get vision of Kelazhur's base, seeing what type of opening that he is doing, and seeing what he can do against him. Right now he's just choosing to take the Scout v Scout trade since it's a 2-to-1 matchup. And now we see that other Scout coming around for Kelazhur. Kelazhur's doing the exact same thing, trying to get an idea of what 1Puppypaw's base looks like and where he can strike as well. 1Puppypaw is stuck with the forward gold, as well as another gold over here to the side. So if Kelazhur was able to take this location, it would be a huge denial of deer and all the gold, really, for 1Puppypaw. One tower right here could be a full huge denial, but we'll see if Kelazhur is going to make any sort of unmeta move like we've seen out of Caspa do on the French quite a bit. He did that last weekend against Snoopa and did a little tower rush against him. So we'll see if anything comes out of this, but for now we just have these standard openings here for the French, and we will continue to monitor this to see who is going to outbeat the other with this French mirror. So now we're starting to get some vision over here on Kelazhur's side from 1Puppypaw's 2 scouts. We see a couple on the gold vein still, as well as that mill just now being dropped. So 1Puppypaw knows that if Kelazhur is getting wheelbarrow, it's coming down later than his, as well as he sees that side gold. One of the rule stipulations for this tournament is you weren't allowed to harass in the Dark Age with your scouts. So right when he hit feudal, he immediately started harassing this gold mine, and you see these villagers react with getting hit from the scouts, and they aren't able to gather with that kind of lean back motion. And so this is one of the big complaints coming out now. That's why they're delaying that harassment until feudal age. So we see the first knight come out from either side, and now we're going to go start to see how much damage it can do in the economy. We did see PuppyPaw drop that tower down, just how I mentioned, a little small tower in this area, and Kelazhur taking over this side of the map would just be able to force so much out as far as the economy goes from PuppyPaw and deny so much there. We already see a barracks being dropped on the side of PuppyPaw. He's getting spears out. He's going to be able to defend any of the night raids with the spears, as well as sending in his own night raids himself. And this is where, right now, we'll see what the first night raid's going to go, if he's going to get any damage down on this gold mine. He's, you saw him take a couple of charges from the other knights, but wasn't able to actually do any damage as far as killing him. And look, he gets a villager and he peels right back out while doing more damage to that gold mine. So that is exactly where PuppyPaw wants to do, and he's just been distracting these knights slowly over time. And one thing you'll just notice, he spotted out a very, very prime time location to put some pressure. Kelazhur already went out for these deer, and you know why he had to go out for the deer and PuppyPaw hasn't? Is because of this huge sheep economy that we talked about earlier. PuppyPaw got the majority of the sheep on the map, so that's going to force Kelazhur onto the berries as well as the deer. He would rather be able to sit on the deer for the faster gathering rate, but that's going to be a harder possibility. And now we see the spears already come out on the side of PuppyPaw, starting to get some damage in. Wasn't able to trade well. Usually you want to get at least 2 spears per knight, or else the knights still have a good amount of damage there. And now we're seeing 5 scouts come out on the side of PuppyPaw. So we've seen this out of him and his brother a decent amount from the French. And really what it allows is just what I was kind of reinforcing earlier. It's that safe food economy under the town center. So then you only have to focus your spears and safety on your wood line and your gold. Because his food is always going to be right under the town center with these professional scouts. And he's stealing the deer away from Kelazhur. So that's another food denial from Kelazhur. If he dries up these berries and this deer patch, it's just a limiting resource. So now we know as far as food goes, he's either going to have to switch to a farming economy or switch to these berries over here, which is another primetime location for PuppyPaw to send those night raids in. PuppyPaw's still keeping good vision. He hadn't taken any damage from night raids from Kelazhur. We see 2 spears over here staying at his wood line. We see 2 spears sitting over here at the gold mine, even though he has a tower here. He's got 6 vills on it. Only 5 can stay in the tower, so technically 1 could get picked. But look at that. PuppyPaw sees the exact point of where Kelazhur's coming from with his 4 knights, and he knows, hey, I'm going to go ahead and be proactive, send my spears on over. There's nowhere right now that you're able to dive me that's going to be able to get any vill picks here. And now we just see more and more of these deer camps being grabbed by PuppyPaw. And like I said, just a massive, massive food economy. The deer harvest faster than sheep do as well, and it's going to be completely safe under his town center. So we see right here, he's got 17 vills harvesting food under his town center, and usually with that amount, you'd expect some sort of, like, resource drop-off with how many resources can be accrued under the town center. With a certain amount of sheep, that would go very, very fast. But with these deer constantly flowing in, he's able to keep that many on food. You just see that one finally went idle there for a second, but he's bringing in the deer at the perfect time here to support the food economy. And now we see archers coming out as well from the side of PuppyPaw. So he has that 1-1-1 economy right now. He's going mainly spear archers though, and a couple knights in the mix just to put some damage in on the economy from Kelazhur. He's just going to be constantly attacking some of these food lines, gold mines, and just more and more damage coming out. That's another vill or 2 going down. Let's see. He might be, oh, he could have gotten 1 more potentially. But now he'll probably just move back from that and then go back directly onto the gold, or go back directly onto that food again. And again, he's been able to keep vision of the main force of Kelazhur's army and been able to just outmaneuver it and know exactly where it is. So he hasn't taken any damage, while he has been able to consistently put damage on with just this one knight. He's bringing in 2 more knights around to put more pressure onto the economy. And just being able to have that nice and safe defense here. We don't see any sort of resources being accrued for Castle Age, so it is seeming to still stay on that main feudal fight. We're just going to continue on as far as now and just see how this feudal is going to continue to progress, because it seems just going to stay in feudal for now. Again, Kelazhur knows, he sees this, he's not able to put any pressure, and look at what Puppypaw is doing on the other side. We see 2 dead bodies, we see another one that's about to go down. That's been at least 5, 6, 7, 8 vills now going down on the side of Kelazhur. This is just a destructive raiding party that has come out from Puppypaw, whereas the raiding party of Kelazhur has been like 0 for 15. They haven't been able to take anything, except now they finally got a scout, which denied one of the deer carcasses away from one extra deer carcass that'll come back over here from Puppypaw. But, you know, knights for scouts and that many villagers is not the trades you want to be making. And we finally see spears come out on the side of Kelazhur to be a defense for those knight raids. But it's too little too late. Puppypaw already has a nice archer mass that's going to be able to snipe down any of the spearmen that Kelazhur's going to make to stop these knights from the side of Puppypaw. And now Puppypaw's just going to mass up all his military together, grab that force, and pressure on them, put even more pressure on the economy that he has already pressured so far. We probably see only 1 deer left over here, so I would expect him to still be on this on these deer carcasses. So still a pressure point that he was going to be able to put on, and he's about to walk up to this right now. So we'll see if he's still on these deer carcasses and going to get any more damage here done. Ooh, okay. He does have a tower out there first. We're going into cinematic mode. This is probably going to be the last fight here. This is so much damage has come down over here. Oh, Kelazhur decided not to take it yet. Puppypaw just has a huge mass here, so we really would expect next fight for Puppypaw to just kind of roll the fight over with the amount of resources that he's been able to outgather. We see another mill that's far out from Kelazhur's base because he was forced to go into the boar, because again, he is out of these other sources for food that has been constantly raided and had so much damage, so he was forced to jump on this boar over here. It's a faster gathering rate, but again, now his economy is so spread out that Puppypaw is going to be able to dive on this pressure point with all his knights and his main army and not have to worry. And look at that. We see the knights run right into each other, charging each other, and this is going to be the main battle here. The problem is, though, is Kelazhur has no archers on his side, so the spears on Kelazhur's sides are just going to get focused down by the archers, and then the knights and the spears are going to be able to wipe the rest of the army for Kelazhur. We just see that exact thing happen. There's not a spear left on the side. Well, now there's 2 more spears left that had rallied in on the side of Kelazhur, and he's forced to take this fight. He's going to be forced to back off this boar now, and this is going to be close to it for the game for Kelazhur. We can see the army forces. It's just a massive force over here on the side of Puppypaw. And there it is. He calls GG. Puppypaw took the first game here of the series, and we will see and check in about the second. If you're watching this on Twitch, appreciate all y'all who are checking in. If you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to throw a sub, follow, the like button, thumbs up, whatever it may be, and keep checking in for the next videos here.